Welcome everyone to my comparison between the Hasbro Marvel Legends and the Bandai Tamashii Editions SH Figuarts Shang-Chi, which of course is from Marvel's latest movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The one on the left is the Marvel Legends version, the one on the right is the SH Figuarts version, and of course I'll place these figures side by side, compare the lightness, the design of the costume, the sculpting, the accessories, how they pair up well with different figures in different lines, and of course give you my final verdict. So let's first start off with the outlook, and the obvious difference is the size. You can see whether it's front to front or back to back, the Marvel Legends one is a lot taller and bigger, and that's just the way the brands make their figures. Marvel Legends has always been slightly bigger, and even though the SH Figuarts is known for smaller scales, I said in my full review I feel the Shang-Chi figure is just too small for my liking, even next to some of the other MCU SH Figuarts. I just feel he's too short and they should have made him a lot bigger. And normally it's not a problem when this is just a standalone movie and your characters, you make other figures later on and they scale well. With this one, it's fine. But for MCU in particular, you have to mix and match your display. So they kind of made the mistake here. And I feel that even though I collect a lot of the MCU SH Figuarts, time to time I do like to buy a Marvel Legends, especially if they don't have the character, and kind of mix up my display. So already the height and size, I do prefer the Marvel Legends version. But normally when you buy an SH Figuarts, you are paying almost 3 times the price, or maybe even more depending where you are. So you do expect better sculpting and paint, and that is kind of the case in this figure. I just feel that the colors on the costume is a lot more vibrant. You can see the reds is a lot darker, especially the front here with this pattern is a lot darker, and even all the way to the trousers and shoes, they kind of stand out. And then you have the red bottoms. And then on the back you can see it has all the black lines, which is probably a bit more realistic. So overall I do like the way they've sculpted the figure, and it's a lot better than the Marvel Legends version. As you can see, the red colors is a lot more lighter, it's kind of fading out, and especially the front with the black lines, you can't really see it. And then the back, they didn't even paint the lines here. The shoes and the trousers is okay, but there's no red at the bottom. But the only thing is, I'll give it to the Marvel Legends, is the elbow parts. You can see that is painted all the way around, whereas the SH Figuarts version, because of the joints, they didn't paint the inside, so it's a bit unrealistic here. But other than that, I feel that the SH Figuarts in terms of the sculpt and paint is better. Even if we look at the waist, you can see that if he turns his waist, it doesn't turn the bottom half of his costume, whereas the SH Figuarts version is all together, which is more realistic. And then if we have a small crunch, for example forwards or backwards, it's good articulation, whereas the Marvel Legends one isn't a bad articulation. It can do some really good moves, but when you have him in crunches, it doesn't look that realistic with the joints. And that's, again, it's just the way the figures are made, obviously with their budgets. And one of the main things is the face sculpt, and it's really depending on what you think, but I feel that the Marvel Legends one looks more like the actor Simu Liu. It's just my opinion, but some people would say the SH Figuarts one is better. I feel the SH Figuarts one is more detailed and probably looks more realistic. They've got all the details near the eyes and the lips as well, and I feel the hair is probably better. It's a lot shorter. The Marvel Legends one has a better face sculpt, but the hair I feel is too long. But both the figures, I wish they kind of added like a stubble or beard. I just feel that that's what the character had. In terms of the skin tone, again, they've done okay in both of them. I just feel the Marvel Legends one is probably a bit better, as the SH Figuarts one is slightly too pale. So now let's quickly place these figures side by side with some of the other characters in different lines. I'm going to first start off with the other SH Figuarts line, which is Falcon and Bucky from the latest Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. And you can see that Shang-Chi is too short in the SH Figuarts version next to the other SHFs. I wished he was a lot taller, so it doesn't really scale well. It kind of matches well with the Marvel Legends version. So automatically you can see I don't like the size of the SHF version. And of course, if you are a collector of Shang-Chi, you have to buy the other Hasbro Marvel Legends. So we have Death Dealer and Wenwu, which of course match well with the Marvel Legends version. But if you're looking to mix and match with the SH Figuarts version, it just doesn't work. They absolutely tower over him, which is obviously not that realistic. And even if we throw in the other females who are meant to be shorter, like Katie and Charlene, you can see they match better with the Marvel Legends, which is obviously what it's meant to be. But I feel that sometimes SH Figuarts does fit in with my Marvel Legends collection, but it just doesn't work for Shang-Chi. The SH Figuarts does have an extra face sculpt, and I actually prefer this one over the original. But what I said was that they should have given us a full head rather than a face plate, because the hair is slightly different shade in the paint. So if I swap the face out, not only do you see a line, the paint is slightly different. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a line, and also the paint is different. It's slightly darker than this one and lighter than this one, so it doesn't quite work out. But I guess it's better since you do get an alternate face sculpt, whereas the Marvel Legends one, you don't get any alternate face sculpts. And then we can now move on to the main weapons, which is obviously his Gwen, which is the stick. And the SH Figuarts version is more realistic because it has the red sides, whereas the Marvel Legends one is a brown one. Looking at the height, they're both around the same. Marvel Legends may be slightly bigger, but it's probably more to scale for the SH Figuarts than this one. I feel it's a bit too short for the Marvel Legends. So in terms of the weapons, the SH Figuarts is better. And then of course we have the alternate hands. For the Marvel Legends one, there is only 2 sets of alternate hands. We have this kind of grapple palm, and then we have these clinching of the fingers. And then for the SH Figuarts version, we have 4 extra sets. So we have these kind of open palms, and then these relaxed palms as well, even though I've got them kind of mixed up. And we have the 2 hands to hold onto the weapons, because the original one is just closed fist, whereas the original one on the Marvel Legends is already there to hold onto the stick. So now let's get these 2 figures in their best poses and compare them side by side. And here are the 2 figures in different poses. For the Marvel Legends one, even though there's only 2 extra sets of hands, I feel with the articulation you can really play around with it and have it in some really cool poses. For the SH Figuarts one, you get a lot more variety since there's 4 extra sets of hands, and again, just like the Marvel Legends one, has great articulation and you can really move around with it. And here are the 2 figures with the weapons. As I said before, I feel the Marvel Legends one is undersized, whereas the SH Figuarts one is probably right in terms of the scale, and also they have the colors correct. So that is my comparison between the Marvel Legends and the SH Figuarts Shang-Chi. Obviously both have their good and bad points, and there are many factors to determine which one you would prefer. In terms of the lightness and scale, I'm going to say the Marvel Legends version fits nicer in most collections, but detail wise with the paint and sculpt, the SH Figuarts is the better figure. You also get a lot more alternate hands, faces and a better weapon on the Bandai version. Of course, if you're on a budget, the Marvel Legends works fine, and as of now it's the better choice since we have other characters in the line. So even though I'm a big collector of the SHF MCU characters, I can't really recommend this figure as of now, but we're gonna have to wait and see if they release more characters. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.